Hello everyone and welcome back to English with Lucy. It's so annoying when it happens. You are talking freely and happily in English and then suddenly everything stops. The world stops, your mind stops, and most frustratingly, your conversation stops. You've blocked. You can't find that perfect word. You may even feel that you do actually know that word deep in your head, you just can't remember it. Perhaps you don't even know it at all. You're reaching for it, but it's just too far away. What can you do? When I was actively learning Spanish, this happened to me all of the time. I can still feel the anxiety in here. I'm now fluent in Spanish, and although it happens with much less frequency, it does still happen, especially if I'm feeling a bit rusty. If you feel rusty in a language, it means that you haven't practiced enough and you've regressed slightly. I mean, I still get a word block in English, and that's my mother tongue. It happens to almost everyone. Today, I am going to help you with your blockages and give you 5 things that you can use to fight against this. 5 things that you can do when you can't remember a word. Number 1, this is potentially the most exciting segment for me, and I can't believe I haven't taught this to you before, because although these aren't real words, they are very commonly used. They are called placeholder names, so you can use placeholder names or unknown name terms in place of the word or phrase or name that you're searching for. Now, in English, we have loads of these and we use them all the time. My mum is constantly forgetting words, and she comes up with the most amazing placeholder names to replace the words that she is lacking. So just to be clear, these are words that replace a word that we can't think of, we can't remember, or we don't know. So firstly, we use lots of extensions of thing. We can say thingy, for example. And we typically use this to refer to a thing that we don't know the name of. The doctor gave me a thingy to help me deal with my stress. I might be referring to a stress ball or some fidget toy or something. I don't know the word, so I use thingy. I just think it's worth noting this is all in informal speech. We wouldn't use this in academic text or in exams or in a business meeting. Well, you might, it depends on the corporate vibe. Another very popular one is thingamajig. Thingamajig. This can also refer to people. So if you can't remember someone's name. Did you talk to Thingamajig last night? Did you talk to unknown person last night? Thingamabob. Thingamabob is almost exactly the same. It can refer to objects or to people. Have you spoken to Thingamabob recently? I can't remember their name. I'm hoping you know who I'm talking about and can say their name for me. Or my hairdresser gave me a thingamabob to help hold my hair in place. He gave me some hairspray, I'm guessing. We also use some extensions of what as well. Whatchamacallit, a whatchamacallit is very popular. Did you pick up a whatchamacallit at the shop? This could be anything, can of tomatoes, watermelon, who knows, depends on the context. We also use what's its name, what's its name. Whatchamacallit seems to be more for things rather than people. What's its name can be people or things. Did you see any what's its names at the shop? Now, we do have a few specifically for people. What's a name or what's his name? There is another one, or 2 actually, because it's masculine and feminine, that my mother uses a lot and therefore I have always used a lot. But when I started using it with my fiance, he was quite surprised. He thought it was quite rude. It is what's her face and what's his face. If we can't remember the name of someone, oh, did you see what's her face? What's her face? Or, oh, what's his face was there last night? And I remember Will being really shocked, like, where did you learn these strange words? But my mum uses them all the time. So maybe note these ones down, but be careful who you use them with. Finally, we use a lot of placeholders with do. Do. And it just goes to show that it depends on the family, because in my family, we never use placeholders with do. But in Will's family, they do use do all the time. The one that they use a lot is doodah, doodah, and this refers mainly to people but also to things. So I think Will's mum told me once, oh, Doodah got engaged. I was thinking, Doodah? Who's Doodah? But no, Doodah is a name used when you can't remember the person's name and you expect the other person to know who you're talking about. Doodad is the same thing, normally referring more to things. Can you go into the garage and see if there are any doodads? And hopefully your speaking partner will understand what you're talking about. Now, number 2 is more of a general recommendation, and this segment is sponsored by Lingoda. It is study every day to try and avoid becoming rusty, as I did with Spanish. Taking a class every day is a great way to avoid that rustiness problem. Lingoda are running their language sprint. With the language sprint, you can learn to speak a language confidently in 3 months, gain 100% of your money back, and get free access to the Cambridge Online Speaking Test. You just need to take one of their 24/7 classes every day for 3 months and get your course fees completely refunded. Click on the link in the description box to check the dates for this sprint. Be quick, if you miss the deadline or the spaces are filled, you will miss out. The Super Sprint offers a 100% refund, and there is also the lighter regular sprint option with a 50% refund. You can join the sprint in English, French, German, Spanish, and business English from beginner to advanced level. I'm really happy to share this opportunity with you because I've had first-hand experience of how effective the Lingoda language challenges can be. They've transformed many of my students' lives. They love Lingoda because they can interact with amazing, qualified teachers anytime, anywhere, any day. Group sizes are really small and intimate, with an average of just 3 students per class. Over 30,000 people have participated in previous Lingoda language challenges, with many of them being able to get new jobs and overcome their fear of speaking. So, how can you participate? Sign up for the sprint before the deadline and pay the deposit to secure your spot. You can use my code SCHOOL15 for €10 off. Lingoda will refund your tuition fee in full along with your deposit if you attend the agreed number of classes within each sprint month by following the contest rules. Remember, places in the sprint are limited. This is a language school. Places fill up. So you have the link in the description box. You have my discount code SCHOOL15 for €10 off. What are you waiting for? Number 3 is try to describe the word using simple terms or generic terms. Oftentimes we overcomplicate things by wanting to find a very, very specific word. And as a result, we put a stop to our conversation flow and in the end make everything really awkward whilst we're trying to desperately think of something. That can wait. You can make a mental note and search for that word later. I think it's better to just search for a simple word that is good enough in the moment. For example, imagine you can't remember the word puppy. You could just say baby dog. It's not overly correct, but it will do. Or if you can't remember the word pediatrician, you could just say a doctor for children. That leads me on to number 4. If it's a little more complex, you could try to describe the purpose or the use for something or someone. For example, if you want someone to pass you a pencil sharpener but you can't think of the word, you could say, oh, can you pass me that thing that's used for making pencils pointed? I've just said the use and it's very clear what I would like. Another example, say I've met someone and they are really nice and they are a librarian and I'm trying to describe them to someone but I've forgotten the word librarian. I could say they work in the place where you can borrow books. Librarian, very clear, very obvious. The final recommendation, number 5, is to use approximations. This is when you use phrases such as it's like, it's sort of, it's kind of like, it's sort of like. An example is the word jumpsuit or romper in American English. If I don't know the exact word for that, I would say it's kind of like a dress, but with trousers as well. So hopefully, even if you didn't know what a jumpsuit or a romper is, you might now understand it because I've described it as a dress, but with trousers or shorts. Now, using 3, 4, and 5 instigates a great learning opportunity. The chances are that your speaking partner will know the words that you are searching for, and they can help you as well. You can set this off by saying at the beginning of a conversation, by the way, if I use the wrong word, feel free to correct me. Don't feel rude to interrupt me. I always said this in Spanish, and it was amazing how much people genuinely wanted to help me. And it was really nice when we could laugh at my mistakes together. Because let's face it, when you're learning a new language, it isn't easy to make jokes in that language. So a really nice way to have a laugh is to laugh at yourself and your language mistakes. I think it also makes the other person feel more comfortable as well. Right, that's it for today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learnt something. If you have any more ideas or recommendations for overcoming language block, please leave them down below in the description box. No, don't put them in the description box. Put them in the comments section. The description box is mine, the comment section is yours. Also, feel free to share any funny language block moments you've had, times where there is just a word that is impossible to describe. Don't forget to check out the Lingoda Language Sprint. The link is in the description box along with all the dates, and you can use my code SCHOOL15 for a €10 discount on your deposit. Don't forget to connect with me on all of my social media. I've got my Facebook, my Instagram, my Twitter. You can now sign up to receive emails from me. The link is down in the description box as well. Very exciting. And I have my new vlogging channel. It's not so new anymore. My vlogging channel. I'll be uploading a vlog very, very soon, if not already. Who knows? I will see you soon for another lesson. Mwah!